Siyabingelela ubingelelo Babu Dokotela babusizwe babujabulile. Ngokusebenza la sisebenzela khona namhlanje sebhilidini ekuthiwa iNedbank House Building. Our physical address it is 30 Albert Street, that is based in Durban. Thank you.
Greetings to our viewers at home. Assalamu alaikum to our Muslim brothers wherever you are. As usual, we are hosting our Babu Dokotela, our University of Life. Babu Dokotela, welcome.
Greeting everybody.
I've noticed that Babu Dokotela is very passionate about love. Very passionate about families.
Yeah, because I'm a production of love and families.
Exactly.
Yes, people ignore that.
Exactly. Babu Dokotela, tell us about sugar spray love benefits. What do you mean by this?
Now we're talking about sugar spray. In front of me, I'm seated with a cake, and this side, I'm busy eating it. Actually, I'm eating it.
It looks tasty, eh?
Yeah, it tastes so nice.
Sure.
Sugar, it is made for women to make this cake nice.
All right.
If this cake is not palatable, tasting nice, it's because of the abstention of using sugars as a woman. A woman who is smart knows that a man only eats a cake. Now I'm busy cutting a cake into two.
All right.
Using my finger to break it, putting my whole finger inside, come it dry. What a nice cake.
Because of the sugars.
Because of the sugars.
Yeah, sugar is the main
The wiser
ingredient.
women always use sugars to entertain the men. When the men put the finger in the cake, you see, it comes out dry. But the cake is not complaining. You see how big it is? I just put my whole hand. It is nice and shaved. You see, it's not hairy at all. This is what he uses for sugars. For 200 rand, you can call Mbongen Kawenga, but the number to call is 061 538 2925. Believe me, as a woman, no matter how beautiful it is, you are, the way you dressed up, your academia or your faith in God, as long as you're a worshipper, wherever you are, but if this thing is not right. Because a man works like a cell phone. A cell phone, if there is no SIM card that corroborate with the cell phone, wow.
It's not a cell phone.
It's not a cell phone.
It's just a toy.
Yeah, it's just a toy that you give it to your children for TikTok. A cake has to be good. If you're a woman, I pledge you, I urge you to quickly get this thing. If you're in Johannesburg, call Busi Mwabe. Her number is 066 254 0452. Because a dear woman of this time, 21st century, you must have something that will keep your cake dry. You must have something that can keep your man busy eating a cake in front of camera. This cake is nice.
It can make you speak in tongues.
In tongues. Don't finish. Oh, this cake is nice.
Because of the sugars.
Because of the sugars.
The main ingredient of the cake.
It is the sugars. Sugars makes this thing nice.
Babu Dokotela says
It
without
is 200
sugar,
rand. Without sugar, wow, your womanhood is limited
your cake
to
is to be a
Bentons.
cake.
to Bentons.
It loses the identity.
Yeah, better for Bentons. For us elderly people, we need you to come with sugars so that, wow, cake is nice. Thank you.
Babu Dokotela, you once spoken about induku yokuvalizitha. What do you mean about how can you use a stick to block or hinder your enemies?
We as Nguni people, I don't like this thing that we Zulu people. We are Nguni people.
Definitely.
I've got every reason to defend that we are Nguni people because even our cows are Nguni cows.
Not Zulu cows.
No, we don't have Zulu cows. Yeah, we are Nguni people. As a Nguni people, when we refer to Umuti, in our bombastic terminology, we call it Induku.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we call it Induku. This is our bombastic terminology because we can always speak in serious languages in all terms. We call it Induku. When we use that, but I'm told in other provinces in South Africa, they call it Moriana when they refer to Induku.
Moriana, yeah.
Yeah, they call it Moriana. And then some people, they even call it Sehlare. In Bondoland, they call it Intonga. Intonga yaviwa mntanam. Then when you're talking about something that can repel your enemies. Because people don't understand the passion, the tenacious of the enemy. The enemy is always behaving like an enemy. Enemy does not change the modality. And then if you know what is written in their diaries about you, you'll find every reason to contact Babu Dokotela, because we have to give you induk, a proper motive that you can repel the enemy, not to kill your enemies, but to repel them, not to even come closer to you.
Sure.
Just distance them as much as you can, and make sure that we eliminate all traces so that you cannot be traced back where you stay. That is Muti that does that. If you're serious about that, you have to get me the red meat. When you get the red meat, has never been said on camera. When you're able to ascertain the red meat, you come with the red meat as little as something cheap, not expensive, maybe 20 rand or 10 rand, whatever. But it must be a red meat with a bone. It must have something that with the bone. And then I will take you to the grave of a white person, nobody else, but we demand that we must find a grave.
Sure.
Thereafter, we're going to put this meeting and we're going to do our ritual and prayers over there. We're going to raise 2 mirrors. In between, we're going to burn this muti. Guess what? Your enemies will disappear in the face of the sky. As long as they keep on trailing you, following you, they will just disappear and come and rest with this man in the grave. We have to be potent when it comes to enemies. Enemies not like a private friends. Babu Dokotela said it.
Yeah, that's Babu Dokotela. Now let's come to the cornerstone. Uthuthisa umna wenu. How does this work, the cornerstone?
Cornerstone, there are times whereby you as a woman, you've been so obedient to your husband.
Sure.
You've shown love. And now it's proven otherwise that you got diabetic. You cannot sexually satisfy your husband because of your anatomy. It's no longer supporting that structure. And then your husband will come to you straight and face you off, tell you that because of this condition, I'm deciding to take another wife. Can you imagine just wife for sex? Because wife is not a Wi-Fi. Wife is something else. It needs like 2 pages to discuss or describe what is a wife. A wife is not something that you use it for sex. Because it can be a wife. And then it can be your girlfriend. You can still have sex. Then you don't have to specially marry someone just for sex. And then when a husband says that, you need to know, oh, Baba, who is that lady? No, I'll bring her here so that you'll meet her. That's all right. Please allow her to come so that you know her. You know the name, you know the surname. I want you to know the name and the surname. That's all. Thereafter, we'll give you 4 cornerstones just to make sure that you discard them no matter where they are. They'll never talk to each other again. And you don't have to kill anyone. You just have to use motive, but in a proper way. Use 4 cornerstones so that your husband will forget about that particular woman, because that particular woman will keep on staying in different cities. In isiZulu, we call it uduganezwe. That is what we normally apply to our people who come as adversary in our life. We just apply what is called uduganezwe. Babu Dokotela says, get the phone.
Have you noticed that on TV there's a program for men who are proponents of polygamy? Do you have capacity to service these women? Because they are on TV as we speak. There are plenty.
Yeah. Because this is our opposition. That is our opposition. Because in every game there's an opposition. I'm an opposition of my opponent. Sure. Because there's no way that you can be one-way stream. Yet not all men like to smoke. Some people are against smoking. Sure. But we find that men, they defend smoking like there's nothing else they can do. There's no way that I can drink, because some men, they defend alcohol consumption as if it's something ethical. Some men, they strongly believe that if you're a man, you're supposed to be a God worshipper, because there's nothing you should do, but you must worship God. And some men, they don't feel like doing that.
Sure.
But you are a symbol of God. God trusted you on earth, but you still fail to worship Him. But He's still your God. even though you don't worship him. Some men, they find it odd. Why you worship something that you don't see? They are the opponent of everything.
Thank you, Babu Dokotela. Now, Babu Dokotela, it has been noticed that poverty is a major contributor in women's abuse.
Yes.
Some get undermined because they are poor, they don't contribute anything. And when I go to meetings, there's this director, there's this organizer in the boardroom who is so powerful and beautiful as a woman. And eventually, I wish my wife was as rich as this woman.
Mm-hmm.
How can Babu Dokotela use the red money oil and holy ash to empower these women?
You don't say honey ash.
Holy.
Ash cannot be honey. You have to correct the spelling. You make people to be honey now.
No.
Because there's special honey, ash to make
know.
them honey.
People know their sugars.
Or you are not saying honey ash, you said.
It's always been holy ash.
Okay, I thought maybe you're saying honey ash, ash that makes people
You know,
honey.
I was born in London, so sometimes my English
Your accent is
that
different.
Victorian accent, yeah.
Okay. No, truly speaking, for a drug dependent, it happens a lot to people who are drug dependent, drug addict.
Sure.
If you are a drug addict, normally you have friends who are living under the bridge because you smoke for free. That always happen. And if you are poor, most of the time as a man, you're ending up being a friend of everybody so that they can give you some petty job and ending up having money. As long as you are coming out and then expose yourself to be abused so that you can get some petty cash. It's all poverty related. And it happens as well to our women, to our children who are married to those people who are so-called affording, not rich, affording, because a rich man does not take a couple of women, a rich man. I'm talking about a rich man. Rich man could never do that because we've got samples proven otherwise in Africa because people who are seriously wealthy, they are single wives. Seriously wealthy.
Yeah, one wife.
Yes, seriously wealthy. If you go to Zimbabwe, you find that Botswana, wherever you go, those people are seriously wealthy and single wife handed. They are very, very rich. And then, but people who've got money, the wife does not have money. That is how they express their powers. That because of that, you are not qualifying to do anything above me, and then you are limited to be just my sex entertainment, and then a maid that I'm married to. We are also my maid that I'm married to. Sure. And then if I need sex, we have to. Don't tell me that you are tired because we're doing nothing all day. As long as I want sex, I want sex.
I'm the one who brings money here.
Yes. As long as I want sex, I want sex. You are compelled to wash my jackets. No matter it's clean, you still have to wash it because you are just one of my maid who I have sex with. That is an embarrassing. That is embarrassing whereby you are coming to a fall that because of you just got another stupid tender of doing paving, and then you'll be paid plus or minus 250,000 every month. To other people, that is a lot of money, but that is what we make a week, as is a young. And we still don't take women. We just still don't take other wife or blah blah blah. No. We make we make like a week, and then because of that tender of 6 months, we make like 250,000 times 6, and then you find that ethically correct to take a wife again. And then your wife cannot afford anything because of that structure that you are already constructed at home. You are disregard everybody as one of your petty people. Your children, you are arrogant to them, especially girls one, you're just pushing them. I'm not talking about boys one because they're no longer supposed to be here because they're older than 25 years. They futa. You are not talking when I'm talking. This is my house. If you've got a problem, go. And your wife will remain alone.
Sure.
And then your girl child as well cannot say anything because she's already got 2 children as well here. And she has to keep silence because she's also paying a shelter even for her children as well. And that is why women get abused for so-called second wife, third wife, fourth wife, all those rubbish things. I call it rubbish because according to 21st century, it does not qualify us. No one is working permanently. Everybody's on contract. Everybody's on freelance. People don't understand. Some people are even freelancing.
Sure.
Yes, some people are even freelancing. And then since then, everything has evolved. We have to adapt to the standard in order for us to, when we die, we can leave something for children, not for wives. Wives are not investment. That is why we as Africans, we are dragging behind. Let's go back to Independent Day of Ghana versus Independent Year of South Korea. It was same year.
Sure.
Same year. In Ghana, one man can take up to 4 wives. In South Korea, one man can have up to 4 girlfriends. You see the difference?
4 wives.
In Ghana, you're allowed to.
Yeah.
In South Korea, you can have up to 4 girlfriends.
You're allowed to.
You can have to. Not allowed to, can have to. You're not allowed to have a girlfriend.
All right.
You can have to. You have to. Look at their growth. GDP. South Korea, it's equal to not even the size of provinces in Ghana. But their GDP is far apart.
Definitely is.
They're highly civilized. Everything, military standard, technology, satellites. They've got more satellites compared to Ghanaian people. Because of why? They've been delayed by the penis. This thing delays a lot. Because if you're a man, as long as you've got 1 or 2 of
As
this,
I say, this precious thing delays a lot.
it delays a lot. Because
This
you
precious
know,
thing.
yes, this precious thing. You notice you do a boy child. Once a boy child has a girlfriend, if in pass rate marks start to drop.
Yeah.
Because the child will be focusing to this. And then your wife will start to notice if you're having a partner, a relationship outside of this work clock, and you start to change things at home because this thing commands you a lot to be on cell phone, WhatsApp, TikTok all the time. Because you're busy with this girlish or woman also called. This thing delays a lot. Let's come out to this and then praise those people who already take second wife. But we have to tell our generation, this is not the way that leads to wealth. There's difference between rich and wealth. Wealth is something else. A rich man works for a wealthy person.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. People, they think if you're rich, it's okay. No, it's not okay.
One is a director and one is a singer.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks, Babu Dokotela. Now, let's talk about the toxicity in the families. You know, when your siblings don't like you anymore because you are successful. Sometimes this hatred transcends to parents and they hate this one. Not the hatred to a point of killing him, but the treatment in the family becomes different. They want him to take all the responsibility, even their cousins, just because he works for Transnet. Have you noticed that?
You be noticing someone from Beckville, Newcastle, Ladysmith, Eshowe, or anywhere in the country, Mbumbulu, just finishing matric, moved to Johannesburg, start to work in Johannesburg. Once you start to work in Johannesburg, no matter what you do, even here Zamazama, you are rich, according to our standard in the case name. As long as you're working in Johannesburg. Then our parents, our siblings, they will apply what is called black tax otherwise. In a sense that they're no longer asking for money for food.
They demand.
They demand money to buy them cars, build them houses, educate their children because you're in Johannesburg. Because for the fact that you have acquired your degree, you did not steal it. During the time of lootings, people did not loot any degree or qualification. You have studied. To study, it's not something that comes for free. There's pains related because you don't sleep, you don't eat the way you want, you don't visit any person. And when you're studying seriously, even your dress code start to look shaky because you don't mind about what you dress as long as you pass this, what you're studying. Because you notice at parks, children, they just wear any jean because they'll be seated on the floor, just as long as they're studying. And then after stressing so much, and then your siblings at home, they will hate you for the fact that you don't do anything for them. Even your uncles, they'll start to hit you hard just for that. Especially your mom or your father. And we find that your mother is coming to a point that she is literally competing with you in all spaces. She demands if you're buying a car, even at home, you must buy them a car. As long as your child is attending at private school, and then these kids that are behind you, you must put them in boarding school as well. How come? Because we raised you as a child. We had nothing. Now, because you're working, you're forgetting about us.
You want to be better.
You want to be better. Those are hated, toxic relationships we've got in our families. That has to be said because our parents are making that mistakes, but they refuse to understand that it is a mistake. But it is so toxic in such a way that a child will feel weak to bring a girlfriend. Mom, I'm here to introduce this woman. I want this woman to be my wife. Oh, you bring bitches here in my house.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. No, look at this thing. No. Those are our families, especially to us as Africans. It affects us a lot as Africans. I don't know to other races because I've never been an Indian or a white person, but I'm talking about what I know and what people experience and what I also experienced, because it is so difficult to theorize everything. Most of the things we have to walk through so that we're able to talk about something that we have got firm evidence about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Babu Dokotela. Now let's talk about umuthi umpera and some oil
For what?
that assist abefundisi. Assist abefundisi a lot.
Umpeso or umpera?
Umpera.
I know umpeso, not umpera.
No, man, we don't deal with pesos. we've got sugars and plastic. Umpesi for some other people in one province. And
in Vendaland,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they use umpeso a lot.
Yeah, can you just give us directions of umpera and ramafuta?
When we are using umpera, umpera is widely discovered or dug in northern Limpopo, as well as Zimbabwe and Mozambique. That is where you can find not umpesu but umpera.
Oh yes.
When we take umpera with some oil, but oil number one that we use oil for things. This is called umantindane. Umantindane is a special art of dwarf. It's a special art of dwarf, and the way we make this dwarf, we normally commit what is called zoophilia. What is zoophilia? Zoophilia is whereby a man sleeps with a pig and produce umantindane, and then we slay this thing and we remove fats and we mix it with this thing and we give it to people. Or it's whereby a man slept with a dog and produce this thing. Whatever will be coming out, and then we'll be taking it to mix so that we can collect those fats from the thing. It's whereby a man slept with a baboon. Any production there, it's one color. It won't be a colored. It will be called mandindan. They normally sleep with dogs, baboons, or a pig.
And the goats.
I'm not too sure when it comes to goats. I'm not too sure, but I'm talking about factual things.
All right.
And piggery, sex, it is very high, especially in America. It's very high, very high, very, very high. And then in some countries in Africa, like Congo, they produce a lot of these things because they use it for their motives and magics and all. And then in South Africa, most of the time, they use what they call baboons. They sleep with baboons most of the times. In the rural areas, they sleep with those baboons so that they can be able to produce. Then they take umpera and then mix with some fats, including mafuta matindane for that thing that I just mentioned, and then some and other oils. When you are using that oil at church or anywhere, when you command anything, no one will say no. As long as you declare and declare, you ask for a sacrifice, children of God, they will bring it. We call it umpera. Thanks.
Powerful, eh?
Yeah.
Now, Babu, let's talk about the commanding honey and Kindros bath proper usages.
Commanding honey, it's a honey that is prepared or researched and developed. It's not an ordinary honey that you just buy from the shop and mix it with some things. When you are preparing commanding honey, number one, you must get honey that has never been prepared or heated with UV light. And then when you use commanding honey, it's normally cost like 2,000 Rand. First thing, when it reaches to you, you have to put your saliva, a lot of saliva in it, and then stir it and then keep it away for like 7 days if you want this thing to be firm correctly. And thereafter, but if your situation is emergency, keep it for like 3 days and you can start to use it. But you have to wake up around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., put a lot of saliva and then stir it and then close it for like 7 days. And thereafter you can use it. You only lick it for commanding things to happen. Anything that you're saying, people will start to be disciplined towards your demands. And when it comes to Kinross bath is just a 1 scoop bath, like 10 ml powder that we normally give it to people to bath with it at 1 a.m. You wake up at 1 a.m., prepare warm water. Once you prepare warm water, you take this Kinross powder, you put it over there, and you take 1 rand coins. 4 1 rand coins, you put them over there too. And you have to get yourself eggs. But when it comes to eggs, people are so different on their own. Someone else called me when I was in Elangen, trying to eat my dinner, and said, "Oh, Babu Dokotela, now I'm preparing to do Kinross bath. Should I put eggs as they are, or I do what?" How come you can just bath with eggs as they are? You always break eggs, put them there and then mix it. You cannot mix eggs unless you have to break them first. You break those eggs, mix them, and thereafter you start to bath. You're commanding money. You're commanding prosperity, favor in all spectrums. And then you bath. Once you finish to bath with a Kinross bath, we have to discard water outside of your yard. And someone else will ask me, "Babu Dokotela, what should I do with these coins that are in there?" No, when you discard, you pick up nothing. Everything must be thrown out. Someone else will say to me, "Babu Dokotela, I dwell in a flat." What do you mean you dwell in a flat? Which means you're living in a flat. You have to get a bucket, put this thing in a bucket, walk out, and then by the roadside, and then you can discard it. There is nothing else you can do, but you cannot discard it inside your yard. It must be taken outside the yard. This is the proper usage of Kinross bath with commanding hand. The reason why you have to use it, you are not killing anyone, but you are eliminating, reducing poverty within you. That is why we have to give you commanding honey as well as Kinross bath. How much that is? It is 5,000 rand. Thank you.
5,000 rand.
Yeah, the combination.
Is it available on from our agents?
Yes, our agents, they always like Busi Mngcabe in Johannesburg, she does have it a lot. Her number is 066 254 0452. But it's for people who says, "Babu Dokotela, I'm tired of this life. I don't want to go to Allah, I don't have money to go to Allah, but I'm tired. I cannot take this thing anymore. And I want commanding honey and in Kinross bath." Busi Mngcabe will always help you. Thanks.
Let's hope their phones are always on. Because you know when you get
during office hours,
you saw when you get the response that say, "Hey, this mailbox is full. Goodbye." How does that make you feel? This mailbox is full. Goodbye.
This is us as South Africans or Africans most of the time, because we want money, but we don't want to do things that are done by people who want money. Number one, if you want money, we have to tell us in which way your model want money.
Yeah, I'm sure this one is not only for Busi Mngcabe and Kawe. Yes. Everyone must listen very carefully.
Yeah, because you are selling an insurance. You come here, you present your story. As you walk out, and you turn your phone off because this phone is noisy. And time people, they hit you, they phone you. Even your mailbox is full, cannot take any messages. And that is our ill discipline. We just don't respect our clients. Especially in younger, they'll give you the number on radio. When you call them, can't find them. Phones is always off.
Sure.
They only turn it on when about to call someone or check a message, and then they'll turn it off again. They said, "No, this phone, it makes noise." No, what do you mean it makes noise? Because you issued this number for people to call you with the kind of services that you render or you advertise that you are doing. But now there's no way that we can get hold of you. Some people will be traveling from here to Johannesburg. When they're in Johannesburg and Sebokeng, they're trying to call you and your phone is off.
Imagine.
And the person has to come back. In Montrose, then you call the person, "Hey, I saw you miss call you." Hey, Baba, I tried to call you so many times. Now we are passing Montrose, going back to Durban.
You're already 4 hours away.
4 hours away. "Oh, must call me tomorrow, not at this time." Simply. And this person is not even apologizing. For that fact alone, I decided, I, as Babu Dokotela, commit myself as well. And I'm developing what is called a call center, whereby people will be just calling one number so that they'll be helped. Because this thing of not getting our clients or attention or aid from us, because the phone is always off, Now we are establishing what is called a call center, whereby when you call those numbers, send SMSs, send WhatsApp, send emails, everything will be replied immediately. Because we as a Nyanga, we've got a tendency of don't care. Nyangas are very, very ill-disciplined when it comes to respecting their clients. Nyangas are same as Abafundis. Abafundis outside, when you meet them at the mall, never greet them. I said, oh, Ndodangulungulu, who's this? Because he doesn't know you. He never see you in his church.
Exactly.
Yes, never see you in his church. Babu Dokotela says, this mailbox is full. It cannot take any messages. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Babu Dokotela. That's the only one professional way of doing business. Babu Dokotela is our investor of life. We always say that, and I'm sure people have taken notes. Catch us again next time we have come to the end of our show.
Thank you.